because it was all so secret,
Yeah.
I had to try and cope somehow. And the only coping I knew was comfort of food. And basically I developed this eating disorder.
Yeah.
At first it started off as a like anorexic behaviour,
Yes.
where I tried to limit food intake to minimal, and so even an apple I would feel guilty for eating. Like I feel like I set these expectations, and then if I ate an apple I'd feel really bad for eating it because I feel like I'd blown it, that I'd eaten too much. Every time the scale went up by just a pound or whatever, I would feel enormous self-hate, enormous guilt. The scales had a huge control over me.
That's an interesting point. So did you have a daily ritual, or was it sometimes even many times a day you were on the scales?
Yeah, it might be twice a day, it might be more.
Wow.
But for me to not weigh myself was too hard. You know,
Couldn't cope.
The draw to have to go and weigh myself
Yes.
was just so strong.
Isn't that fascinating that a device like that is a household item, it's like an altar
It
almost.
had so much power.
Yes.
So much power, and yet it was a scales, you know, as an object.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I started this, what started off as anorexia, but then I couldn't keep it up because, I just couldn't. And so I started what was called bulimia, where I might go for long periods of time, you know, a day, maybe a day and a bit, and I hadn't eaten anything, and I'd feel really good because I was achieving my goal.
Yeah.
And then I'd go and blow it because I might start off with one little biscuit, which would then lead into the whole packet.
Yeah.
And then you feel like you've completely blown it.
Yeah.
And, oh well, you may as well just let loose and have it all. So then there was tubs of ice creams or chips or whatever it is.
Yes.
I mean, I would consume a hang of a lot. And then, of course, you would feel terrible. So it was like this vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You just couldn't get out of it. So the only way to make myself feel better was to purge it, and then I get my control back.
Yes.
Because I felt that what had happened to me was out of control.
Yes.
So I needed to get control back.
Yes.
And because I felt so bad and so dirty and just ugly, I wanted to try and make myself perfect, which would then mean that I might feel good about myself because I'm looking good, therefore I'll feel good.